It's the Daylight Midnight Show.
Hello and welcome to the Daylight Midnight Show. My name is Greg and I need a detention for being late. This won't mean anything to you unless you happen to normally watch this show as soon as it's uploaded, but I believe in being honest with people and I'm recording this a day late. Normally I record it during the day on a Friday and it goes onto YouTube at midnight Friday into Saturday. I'm having to do it a day late because I worked an overnight shift Thursday into Friday and I thought the last thing you need is me rambling on when I've been awake for 36 hours. So I'm recording it on Saturday. It's only the second time it's happened since I started this show, but it does give us a quite satisfying thing to do with numbers. Now, if like me you like it when coincidentally numbers match up with things, for example, this week we've had the 21st day of the 21st month of the 21st day of the 21st year of the 21st century. You must have seen it, it was all over the internet. Well, something satisfying has happened by me recording this show a day late, because this is Series 2, Episode 3, and because I'm running late, I'm recording it on Saturday, January the 23rd. That is strangely satisfying. So welcome to the show. Then the time is already running because no episode of this show will be more than 10 minutes long. Let's find out what our wonderful word of the week is, because as I go through life, I occasionally encounter words I haven't seen before, and when I do that, I like to share them with you. So our word of the week this week is the word boreal. I think that's how you pronounce it. This dates from the late 19th century. It is thought to originate around St. Louis in the United States of America. That's certainly where it's first seen written down. And boreal is a word to describe someone who is incredibly drunk. If you are intoxicated to the point that you can't see straight, you are described as being boreal. Now, I haven't been drunk for a long time, but I do love that. And I've noticed as I've travelled around the country, each county, each area have their own particular sayings for describing someone who's a bit drunk. So I thought I'd find a few out and share them with you. So a lot of these are very, very old, so they might be a bit lost to the modern world. And a lot of them you can trace back the elements of it. A lot of them date from when people on ships used to steal the rum. So they'd have a ration of grog, but they'd steal it. So things like being 3 sheets to the wind originates from the old Royal Navy. So these are from all over the world. But if you are drunk, you can be called corned, whiny, lushy or muggy. You can be described as being muddled, jiggered or ossified, and a very drunk man is often described as being crapulent or maggoty. To describe someone as drunk, you can use these phrases. He has an elegant jag on. I have a feeling that might date from the Victorian times. She has a bun on. She's got marbles in her mouth, which I think is a great description of that point when you can't talk properly. And I can imagine this being done in an office. You know, Sarah, I'm not saying she's keeping vodka in her desk drawer, but she's got marbles in her mouth. And you can be full of prunes as well. These ones are wonderfully descriptive, and these are the ones that I think you can see what they mean when they say it. He is measuring sidewalks upside down. He has an applejack gait, and he is more sail than ballast. I found a few that I don't understand. I have no idea where these originate from, but I still think they're funny. She's so drunk she can't see a hole in the ladder. He is on the re-roar. He is feeling his oats, and he's been drinking through chagrin's thimble. I thought there must be a background to this. I can't find any reference to it anywhere online, so I don't know what it might mean. You can also be full of Jersey lightning, you can be drunk as David's sow, and you can be all mops and brooms. And my personal favourite, this to describe someone who was really off their head, he is as drunk as a boiled owl. And I'll give you a couple more. Now, these date back more than 100 years, so please bear that in mind. They might be seen as a bit inappropriate these days, and in fact, I think if you use this term to describe someone nowadays, people wouldn't think you're describing them as drunk, they'd think you're describing them as something else. So, these are old sayings meaning he's drunk. He's been rushing the growler months too often, and he's blowing himself like a drunken sailor. So with all that craziness, let's swing round to the Door of Delights, which looks pretty much the same as last week, but wait! What is this here? Why, it's only this week's topical limerick. So the story is this. The Sahara Desert is obviously one of the driest, one of the coldest places on Earth, one of the hottest places on Earth. This week they've actually had snow. It's right on the edge of the Sahara Desert in Algeria, where the average temperature in January is 14 degrees Celsius, which to us would feel like a spring day. It was -3 this week, so they woke up and there was ice covering the dunes in the Sahara Desert. It had only happened once in 42 years, but it's now happened 3 times in the last 5 years. So a little limerick about that. Snow in the Sahara is rare, but this week they had some over there. It's really quite strange, but with climate change, Pretty soon it'll happen each year. Now I think that's a bit preachy. It's not very funny. It breaks rule 5 about this show not touching serious issues, so I'm going to give that a grade of E-. So from that, let's swing round to the brown folder, which of course has its own theme tune. COVID is more dangerous to people who are older. Let's see what is written down in the brown folder. That's a work in progress. So the brown folder then, as I go through my week, I just jot stuff down that I might want to talk about, and then I write it in here, and then we look at it on a Friday morning and go through it together. Point number 1 this week, remember the rhyming show challenge. Back in November or December, somebody sent me a message saying, why don't you try and do the whole show in rhyming couplets? I said I would do it in the new year, so that's just a little reminder that I'm going to do it. Point number 2, as I get older, I find the number 20 more and more attractive. This is one of those 2 o'clock in the morning thoughts. I've already mentioned about things to do with numbers that can be satisfying. It's just something about the shape, the way the number 20 looks, I like it. Point number 3 this week, learn from Greg's mistakes. Follow manufacturer's instructions edition. Yes. My method of doing washing is that I chuck all my dirty clothes in the corner, and then when I need to wash them, I scoop them up without paying attention and I put them in the washing machine, and then when they're done I take them out. And if it's nice and bright outside, I'll hang them outside. If it's not, I'll put them in the tumble dryer. Things like labels, I don't always pay that much attention to. Things like posh suits, I do try and get dry cleaned instead, but sometimes you're tired, sometimes you're not paying attention, sometimes the cold is befuddling your brain. So this week, a pair of quite pricey trousers that I have that are mostly wool, which of course should be washed really carefully, I managed to throw in with a load of other washing. I didn't notice when they were on the floor, I didn't notice when I put them in the washing machine, I certainly didn't notice when I put them in the tumble dryer. So if you ever look at those labels that you get on items of clothing and they say take extra care, wash with similar colours, treat separately as wool, and you think that doesn't really mean anything, I assure you it does, because I'm going to show you what happened to my trousers. Bear in mind, this time last week these pair of trousers fit me perfectly and looked really smart in a suit. They've been through the tumble dryer, they've been through the wash with other clothes, and I hope you can see this. This is what my trousers now look like. So there we go. I urge you to learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to make them yourself. So I think that's it for this week. Outfit roulette. You'll notice I haven't worn this shirt before. This isn't a particularly posh shirt, but I think if shirt comes up, I'll try and wear a different one each time so you never see me wearing the same clothes twice. So let's do the old randomisation of the Rubik's Cube. I hope you can see this. You can see that I'm completely randomising this. I'm going to put it like that, and the top colour is orange. So next week I will be wearing my grey jacket. Underneath that, oh no, let's mix it up a bit more. Underneath that, I will be wearing something from the blue column, which is my Jurassic Park t-shirt. And to accessorise all that, mixy, we have black, which is a baseball cap. So next week, grey jacket, Jurassic Park t-shirt and baseball cap. The nightmare scenario, by the way, that I hadn't realised until last week is that if I roll red and then green, and then green again, you'll have a situation where I'm not wearing anything on the top, I'm not wearing anything underneath, and I will be wearing makeup. We can all look forward to that one happening, I'm sure. So that's it, I think. A bit discombobulated because I'm recording it a day late and I'm still getting over being up all night. But a rhyming couplet to end the show on then. When you do your washing, don't use methods that are Greg's, or you'll end up with trousers sitting halfway up your legs. I will see you next week. Have a great 7 days. Expensive trousers. Ruined.